Brother Kadash, start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, or Kadash. No real title. With this lesson, I'm on the highway, so the precepts I'm pretty much gonna have to quote them. But the topic is just on world news. I'll probably end up calling this, world news or something like that. That's the spirit that's where the spirit led me. Talking to Quanah earlier, and that's what we were talking about was, world news and what can happen and what's to look out for, because we supposed to be watchmen, according to Ezekiel 3, Ezekiel 33. A part of this truth is watching, watching for the times and the signs. It often talks about that in Second Esdras. I believe that might be like chapter 9, but it speaks about watching for the times, so you can prepare yourself. You should be prepared. If you're in this truth, you should be prepared already. But wisdom and knowledge, is what's going to sustain you. And knowing what's coming is a part of wisdom. You see what I'm saying? That's a part of having wisdom, of knowing the times, and knowing to get ready, even though it's not much that anybody's going to be able to do. When these certain things happen, it's not much that you're going to be able to do. See, like, what you got to understand is like, you're not going to get yourself salvation. Esau not going to get you salvation, even though a lot of people are going to take the MOTB because they going to seek salvation through getting that MOTB, but it's not going to get them salvation, Revelations 14 and 9. So really the Lord got them in a trick bag, and they going to end up seeing the hard way, So nothing you could do won't get you salvation, man. The only way that you can get salvation is if the Lord simply elects you. That's what being the elect is being elected for salvation. From what? From the destruction. It speaks about that in Revelations chapter 7, right? But also to inherit the kingdom. If you get saved by the Lord, then you're going to inherit the kingdom, which tells you that only the Israelites can be saved, because only the Israelites are going to inherit the kingdom. You see how it all goes together. So some of the things that's been going on, like in the world right now, they're saying that look out possibly for the internet to crash. Of course, we still looking out possibly for the dollar to crash. But they're saying that in war too, World War III. That's the big thing, and that's the biggest thing in the news is World War III. And then I will say next they're talking about the internet is possibly going to crash, or some type of blackout, EMP attack, something of that same effect, which will kill millions, if not billions. Just think of a world. Me and Quan, I was talking about this too. Just think of a world where you don't have internet. Now, me and Quadal, we know how it feels. I won't necessarily say not to have internet, but we know how it feels because we're old enough to know, remember when they had the Razor flip phone, when they had the BlackBerry, even before that, when they had the phones like when I was saying, that you had to, you had to put your finger in a little hole and you had to kind of turn it and match the numbers up to get a call, We come from an era growing up where, you get a girl number, you had to remember the number by heart. It wasn't just let me find her on Facebook and message her, DM her. You had to remember those numbers. You had to write those numbers down. You see what I'm saying? If you lost her number, you pretty much lost contact with her until you come up, until you bump into her again, and then you can ask her for her number again. We come from those times, so we kind of see how it completely changes now. It could be a person that I just met 5 minutes ago. If I know their name and I know their Facebook, now I have access to call them. And I ain't never getting nothing but their name or their Facebook. You see what I'm saying? I got access to call them. I know when their birthday is, even though we don't celebrate birthdays. I'm just saying, you know all this information about them. Because, on your Facebook, that's what it's going to have. It's going to have your birthday. It's going to have what city you live in. So I know what city you live in, and a lot of times it even has where you employ. I can know all these things within 5-10 minutes of meeting you without having to directly ask you. I could just know all these things on the internet. So just imagine if the internet gets taken out. Imagine how that's going to affect people's lives, man. Just communication. I mean, look at YouTube. You know, we upload these videos to YouTube to edify the sheep. A lot of brothers stay in contact with each other via internet or YouTube, man. So just imagine that, like, that's what the Lord said, man. They should run to and fro. That internet gets taken down, it is going to bring in a famine of the word. Also, you know, it's going to cause people to scramble, man. People are going to scramble because people aren't going to know what's going on. So that's a big one, and I've been waiting for that one to happen, the internet to go down. See, you got to understand, they got elections. We thought it was this year, but I think it's next year, 2024, in November, right? So, you know, that me personally, this is my personal thoughts, I don't think they want to let Trump be a part of the election. So, you know, they might possibly take him out. If they can't lock him up, then they might completely take him out and wipe him out, which will cause civil arrest because the Trump supporters are going to fight. You know, if they take him out, whichever way he go out, they're not going to believe that it was natural causes or the Lord just took him out. They're going to believe it was a setup, and then they're going to fight against the government, which leads me to 2 Esdras chapter 15, you know, where it talks about the civil unrest and the prince and the kings. You know, they should stand up against the kings. We're roughly paraphrasing, you know. Pretty much you're going to have civil war, man. And you're going to have World War III, man. And you're going to have biological war. And you're going to have cyber war. All at once, man. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's like a quiet before the storm right now, but all this is leading up to something big. You know, you better believe it. You know, they coming with something. You know, they got plans. It wasn't just what happened in 2019, 2020, that was it. They got more stuff coming down the pipe, man, that's even bigger than that. So, you know, me personally, I think they going so they don't even have to have elections. But if you take the internet out, you're not going to have elections, man. That's over with, because majority of elections is what? It's on the internet. You take the internet and the TV goes out too. I don't know if they may have the TV, like news stations, that's the only thing that's up. But, you know, those rallies and those debates and stuff, most people see that via internet. We don't really see it on the TV no more. We watch it on YouTube. We watch it on the internet and stuff like that. So you gotta understand, like, when they take that out, then you looking at no more elections, which would probably be a reason why they will take it out. You see what I'm saying? That's just what I think personally. You know, but we gotta see exactly how it's gonna happen. So the Bible gives us an outline of this is gonna happen, but it's not gonna give you all the details of exactly how this is gonna form. So we know it's gonna be a famine of the word, but we not gonna get the details of how the famine of the word is gonna be created. We just gotta be a watchman, which leads me back to the beginning of this video. You really just gotta be a watchman and then find out. You know, you can give your wisdom, your knowledge, you can give your discernment, an educated guess, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to shit. We gonna find out exactly how these things are gonna happen with world news. You know what I mean? It's a lot of different things. You gotta look at things that's going on in Saudi. You know, you gotta look at things that's going on. Iran is still a big player on the field. You know, you can't forget about Iran. You know, look at the Israelis. You got to look at what's going on with them. What are they preparing for? You know, and then you still got to keep your eye on science, even though we don't, you know, we don't lean all our understanding on science at all. You know what I mean? But you still got to look into science. Science like what? MOTD is science. You know, look at Elon Musk. I just seen him with an interview, and he was talking about the Neuralink, and he talking about it. You know, they're moving to human trials, right? So they're gonna start using that stuff on humans. You know, so you kind of got to deal with that. You know, they talking about going cashless, which they've been talking about it, so we can see that flashing down the pipe. We know that it's coming. When It could be a year, it could be 6 months, it could be before the elections, you know. But we know that they're coming with that system. So, you know, I've been watching videos, you know, of different guys, and they've been reporting saying like, look, man, what they're planning on doing is bringing down the internet, bringing down the grid, and having everybody on a lockdown, right? And then a strict lockdown, you gotta stay at your house type of lockdown. Like they may be delivering food lockdown. You see what I'm saying? That type of lockdown. You get delivered food to your home address. You can't leave home type of lockdown, right? But of course they saying that they're gonna open the economy back up. So we seen kind of like a trial run of that in 2019, 2020. They locked everything down and then they let everybody out. And when people came out, things was a lot different. And a lot of people was missing. I remember that time not too long ago, a lot of people, grandmas, grandpas, uncles, was, you know, they went back to the spiritual world, you know. A lot of things have changed and they were sweeping that stuff under the rug, if you know what I'm talking about. So this time, whatever they come up with to do the lockdown, now, you know, I feel like that was just a test run, but I feel like they doing it in waves, you know, so the second time gonna be even worse. And then when you come back out, the world just gonna be different. And then they say when they let people back out, then that's when it's gonna be a cashless society. See, they could lock you in your house, pretty much. You can't leave, you can't drive, it's a lockdown, and then they can just feed you news on the TV. That's the only thing on the TV. The internet's down, but some way, somehow, the news station still could broadcast, you know, like a radio or something like that. And then they can feed you. And then what are you gonna do? What people gonna do for entertainment? Just imagine all the entertainment you got being wiped out. All your music, all your entertainers, all your movies, Netflix, all that shit, all the YouTube, you know, the entertainment, watching these Hebrew Israelite videos. Imagine all that get wiped out. And the only thing that's coming on is the news. You gonna tune in because that's your new form of entertainment now. So you gonna tune in to that, like that's everything. You can't leave the house. You see what I'm saying? There ain't that much stuff to do. So your next thing gonna be to do is just tune into whatever's coming on the TV or coming on the radio. Now they can feed you all this false propaganda information, and they can start conditioning you. That's the word. They can start conditioning you for when the shutdown or the lockdown is lifted. Hey, yeah, look, we got this new technology. Hey, look, we can do this. This is gonna make things better. Hey, look, the dollar collapsed, but we got something else in replace of it. So then when they finally open it back up, everybody has been conditioned to the new system already, because that's all you've been hearing on your radio or seeing on your TV, and now you're ready for it. You see what I'm saying? And then they can start allowing access, because remember, during 2019, 2020, you had to have special papers to allow you access to be able to move around and stuff. You know, like I forgot what it's called, like you was an important worker or like a value worker or something like that. Something like that. I forgot exactly what it was called. Right? So they could start with like government workers, nurses and stuff like that, start allowing them to get more freedom, but switch them to the new system. And then you will be able to get more freedom too from the lockdowns if you switch to the new system. See, and then that could start causing this whole, you know, MOTV thing. So that it really is like the next biggest prophecy coming up is the MOTV, because everything's going to lead to that. Whatever they come with, whatever they create, whatever disaster they create, that's leading to the MOTV. You know, so first you gonna have, I mean, it's just what's real at the end of the day. You gonna have the MOTV, and then you gonna have the destruction. You gonna have some like false flag destructions that's gonna take a lot of people out, but that's just leading to the MOTV. But the full destruction, fire and brimstone, that's gonna come Judgment Day. That's gonna come after the MOTV, because you still have to be tested by the MOTV in order to get to Judgment Day, and then you get your judgment based on your results of how you did. So don't be pretty much don't be confused. I'm slipping the words, but it's real late on the highway. But don't be looking confused, looking dumb, stupid when you see a lot of people that you know switch up and they go take that MOTB, man. Don't be looking shocked. Don't be shocked when you see a lot of people you know switch up and go take that MOTB, man. Because after a week of being locked down, you still tough. After a month, you start getting weaker. After 2 months, you get weaker. 3 months, now you kind of getting skinny because you're not eating at the same pace no more. See what I'm saying? You having cravings of foods that you used to have. You see what I'm saying? The lifestyle you used to have, the clothes, the cars, the jewelry. You know, you want to get out back in society because you want to be able to go to that bar and you want to be able to, you know, have the woman that you used to have. You know, you sitting in the house all day. If you ain't got you a woman in there, things could get very hard for you. And I'm not, and that's not a bar. Like, I'm not a rapper. You know, I'm a prophet. You know, a man of the Lord. You know, from the tribe of Judah. If you ask me. But that wasn't a bar. You know, because things can get hard. You get it. But hey, the point is, like, yeah. You know, so to get these luxuries of life, men are going to take the MOTB to get their old lives back. You know, to get more freedom. So yeah, it's perfect for Esau and it's easy for Esau to do. He take away all your freedoms through a false flag attack, and then he opens things back up and say, here go your freedoms again. But he dangles this MOTB in front of you like a carrot on a stick. And hey, look, or he dangles your freedoms like that. But hey, in order to get to that, you got to take this MOTB. So then you see all your athletes, you see all your entertainers, they back outside. You still on lockdown. They back outside because they already took the MOTB. They all on your TV telling you to take it. You see what I'm saying? So that's going to be a lot of temptation. I must admit, that's going to be a lot of temptation. If you thinking like, man, the MOTB come, that's going to be a breeze for me. That's nothing. I'm not taking it. Hey, man, you might be underestimating the type of temptation that the devil's going to come with. You might be underestimating it because you got to remember the Lord created this technology for them. The Lord created this technology to weed out, you know, who's going to take it and who's not, the wicked and the evil. I mean, the evil and the righteous. So it's not just Esau's technology, it's really the Lord's technology that he gave to Esau. Don't underestimate it. So you got to go into this thing like, man, I know it's going to be hard, man. I'm praying that the Lord have mercy on me, you know, and guide me pretty much to not take it, you know, because it's not going to be a breeze. It's not going to be an easy walk. If any guy is telling you that, you know, it's going to be an easy decision, then they lead you wrong, man. This ain't going to be an easy decision, man. Because when your stomach, like I said, you getting skinny. You see what I'm saying? Your clothes is old. How you gonna wash your clothes? You know, if it's a situation where the grid goes down, I mean, you wear your clothes, you gotta wash them, or you just gonna be walking around smelly? Shit, if the water go out, man, that's gonna have a lot of men like, okay, but this side of the town, they got water, they got electricity, everything good within these borders. At this camp, everything good here. A lot of men gonna scratch their head and say, man, I'm going down, man. I'm going down. I can't take it no longer. It's been 2 months, bro. I lost everything. I don't have nothing. I'm down bad. Man, if I go on these little borders, this little perimeter that Esau set up, they got electricity, they got water, they got bars, they got liquor, they got women. I want to go over there and look like they partying. But you know what Esau gonna do? When you get to them gates, he gonna say, okay, yeah, you can come in. Let me set you up with a number. Let me set you up with the MOTB. Let me set you up with, yeah, all that shit, man. Tracking. Look, this is our new rules. This is the rules that you got to live by with inside these borders, you know, because Esau can take the grid down, but then he could put up certain cities. He can just put back up Chicago, and they got electric, they got water, everything outside Chicago ain't got nothing. It's wilderness. See? And then, like, just like with Judas Maccabees, that come back into play. You're going to have to get back in the wilderness, man. And you're going to have to pray that the Lord and the angels be there for you, man. And that's pretty much what it is. You know, I'm just going to title this World News pretty much. Down and say salvation to the elect. Shalom.